This video was sponsored by Raycon, Alakazamers! They sent me a pair of their latest and greatest earbuds, the Everyday E25s, and trust me when I say that they are fantastic. They're super tiny and super tiny and comfortable to wear, and even come with an assortment of silicone gel tips to fit whatever kind of ear you may have. Yes, even a monster ear. They're super easy to sync up to Bluetooth, and what do you expect from me? I have big fuzzy hands. I'm trying my best here. They're easy to sync up to Bluetooth, and the sound quality is great. These little things have way more bass than I expected. They can last up to 6 hours, and this case right here, it charges them. The case charges them. So you can go up to 24 hours without charging anything. I literally had to try to run them out of battery when I was testing them. Okay, best part. Shwoop, bam. Magnets. How cool is that? And seriously, I have been using these things constantly since I got them. I wear them when I work out or do the dishes or lie down in bed, or I'll even just like have one in one ear while I'm like hanging out with my friends. I listen to way more music because of them. So check out the Raycon Everyday E25s for very comfy, low profile earbuds. They're about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds, and you can get 15% off at buyraycon.com/Arlo. Link in the description below. Have a good day. Now I said over here. When Nintendo first announced a new Animal Crossing game, I mentioned how I wasn't really sure if at this stage of my life I was able to get back into Animal Crossing just because I'm so busy now, and it's a, it's a sim game. It takes a certain amount of patience, and you gotta wanna, collect stuff and hang out in your little animal village and stuff, so I wasn't really sure. And then when Nintendo revealed the game fully and showed off the whole crafting system, I said how that was definitely enough to make me want to play it very, very, very badly. And that has been true, but even then, I've been asking myself, yeah, but I mean, like, is that really gonna do it though? Am I excited for the idea, but like, is that actually going to hook me in like I've been hooked into previous Animal Crossings, or is it just a cool idea? Functionally, will I actually be as obsessed with this game as the previous games? Is that even possible? The answer is yes. Now that I have played Animal Crossing, I know that the answer is an absolute, resounding, very loud yes. I am hopelessly addicted to Animal Crossing New Horizons, and here I am with a little impressions video for you. I wanted to play it for a good few days. It's been about 3 or 4 days of solid playing now, and here are my thoughts. Here are my early impressions of the game. Something of a review impressions, I suppose, but I'm not sure how I don't know how I wanna do this yet. Anyway, first off, the atmosphere is delightful, and it does a tremendous amount for just the enjoyment factor of the game. It's the rush of the waves and the wind in the trees, and on some days it's even like a little bit misty, and just like those little weather effects and just those little touches there, it's so pleasant. It is so wonderfully, wonderfully pleasant just to be in the world. Every once in a while I'm like walking around, and when I just see like river, ground, trees, I start to kind of wish that there was some little more amount of graphical detail or something, but I feel like that's probably up to the player to fill out the space and add in things that are pretty. But really, the graphical advancements in this game have been made on so much smaller levels. Individual things look a lot better, even if they look mostly the same as they always have. The trees look just like Animal Crossing trees, but just when you look up close, the leaves look so much nicer now. Little details like the fish, like whenever you catch a fish and you get a nice look at it, they look super good. They look terrific. They've been animated amazingly. All of the bugs and fish and things. There's just a really, really nice level of graphical polish to everything. And obviously the museum, I just unlocked that yesterday, and I love to just kind of walk around it, even though I don't have a lot of stuff in it yet, because it's just pretty. It's just really, really nice. It's just pleasant, and I don't know, like Animal Crossing has never looked amazing. It's never looked bad. It's always just like nice, It gets the job done, but this is like when we're finally getting into like, oh, like nice territory, you know what I mean? It's actually starting to look really, really pleasant. And I got to play around with the game a little bit at PAX, but now that I've actually, you know, played it like a whole bunch, the quality of life improvements are staggering. One of the main things that just keeps running through my head again and again and again as I play this game is back in my day, because just like, comparing this experience to the first Animal Crossing, it's like, it's hard to believe that that was ever okay. You know, I'm just like, back in my day, we had to ask a series of dumb questions and it would give us a face based on that, and we were stuck with that face forever. Back in my day, houses and buildings just kind of went where they went and you couldn't move them or decide where they went or anything. And I don't know, just tons of stuff like that. Just little things here and there that really add up to make a tremendously better experience. Now, the thing about a game like this, though, is like, whenever the more the developers kind of rethink certain things and make these quality of life improvements, the more stuff has changed, then it's almost like the easier it is for me to see the stuff that remains that hasn't been changed, you know what I mean? The more scrutinizing I am of the stuff that could have been reworked or overhauled or gotten rid of or whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's just still some annoying things, you know, sometimes you gotta dig through just too much dialogue to get what you want, and like you're trying to sell stuff and you still can't, I mean, like, this is common standard video game things, is you can see the sell value of an item when you're just in the store, but no, you gotta do it and hit that, and then you ask, they tell you how much it's worth, but you can only do that one at a time, because if you select multiple things at once, it doesn't itemize it for you, and like, just, I don't know, little stuff like that. Still some little annoyances, nothing huge. And the thing is, like, it's kind of hard to complain about anything, because sometimes there will be an annoyance and then you realize that it's sort of tied to like an item that you get or like an ability that you get, and then the annoyance is taken care of. So it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe if I upgrade the store, I'll be able to see the sell value. I'm not really sure. So yeah, I mean, like, overall though, it's great. I mean, even just like stuff like being able to place furniture outside, that changes a lot of stuff. And then the edit view inside of the house makes it so much easier to move stuff around. It's amazing. The fact that you have built-in storage in your house and you just like pop stuff into it from your inventory, it's incredible. Like, seriously, back in my day, is all I can say. Kids these days don't know how good they got it. Oh, it's terrific. Another thing that's a little bit hit or miss is the online. Now, I have actually been having a lot of fun with the online. I've only visited a couple friends' towns, but like, the Switch Online app, it's not great, but I'm at least surprised by how relatively seamless it is. Like, you go to someone's town, and I just like downloaded the app, linked my profile, and brought it up, and voice chat just, boom, it just kind of comes up. It's just kind of there, and you're talking to them. So that's okay. It's pretty all right. The quality's not great. But, you know, it's there, so, like, you know, running around in someone's town, if you best friend each other, then you can help each other out, and it's a lot less limited than the local multiplayer is. So that's been fun. There's not a lot to do in each other's towns yet, just because it's, like, I don't know, it's pretty early in the game. People's towns aren't that interesting yet. But it's nice, and, one big disappointment, though, is like, okay, the online experience always gets better in each Animal Crossing game, and yet, gosh, this was their chance to really nail it, and they still didn't quite get that. I mean, the connection is fine. I've had no problems with the connection at all. It's more just like, if you want to visit a friend's town, they have to open their gate manually first, and then you gotta dig through so much dialogue just to get to the part where you check and see if anyone's towns are open. There's no easy way to see. You gotta just, like, talk to this guy forever, every single time you want to check. And then you can't just pop into their town. If you visit their town, it pauses their game, and they have to sit there and wait for you to load in, and it takes a pretty annoying amount of time. And so, I don't know, just like, it's annoying. I want people to be able, like, I should be able to just open the menu, go to my little friend list, and just say, boom, open the gates. I shouldn't have to go and talk to the guy and do it. It should be a very simple matter of, I'm accepting visitors or I'm not accepting visitors. And if they come in, they should be able to just pop right on in. So that's like a little annoying, and that means I haven't visited people as much as I could have, because I don't want to bother them. I don't want to pause their game or whatever, and I want people to visit, but I don't want to have to go and open the gates every single time. So that's annoying. That's the Nintendo thing. That's the online thing. It'd be really nice if that were a little more streamlined. But other than that, online has been pretty good so far. Once you best friend someone, you can even send them little messages. You can send them letters with stuff in them. And so that's pretty great. I've been having a good time with it. Okay, everything I've talked about so far, who cares? Whatever, who cares? Now I want to talk about it. Now I want to really talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons right now. Because crafting. The thing that made me excited to play the game has proved to be just as wonderful as I hoped it would be. It's incredible. It is going to be difficult to imagine an Animal Crossing at all without crafting after this. I'm going to look back at the old games and just be like, how though? What like it's so integral to the experience that it's just weird that it hasn't been there before. It fits so well. And I love that. Because you already had, like, you know, hitting rocks to make money come out. Oh, now you hit rocks and rocks come out. You know, chopping down trees. Oh, but you're chopping at trees to make wood. You're collecting shells and all these different flowers. Oh, but now you're using those to craft stuff. It's amazing. They've built it. I mean, like, everything, even fishing boots out of the river. Oh, you got a DIY recipe for that. It's just perfect. And Animal Crossing was already awesome, and it was already able to, you know, create a pretty good gameplay loop, a feedback loop for me whenever it really hooked me. But this is like, it's perfected now. It almost feels like this is the only complete Animal Crossing because of the whole crafting thing. It's like it's arrived to where it was going this whole entire time, and it's wonderful. And this really came at a perfect time for me because, as I've said 1,000 times, I don't even know if I could get into a game that's like more like a sim game where I have to kind of use my imagination and enjoy just kind of messing around. For me, I need a game. I need an actual game. Even if it's a game that is relaxing and very therapeutic, you know, kind of like Stardew Valley. You know, I enjoyed it for the relaxingness of it, but it's also a game, and I can, like, do it. I can do the game and try to be as efficient as possible. And so, like, this was the perfect Animal Crossing. This was the perfect time for it to recapture my interest. Because that's the thing. Like, Animal Crossing has always been a sim, first and foremost. Like, there's stuff to collect, you know, bugs and furniture and stuff. But, like, I feel like for the most part, it's been more the sim aspect. It's that you get a town and you talk to your little friends and you build a little house with all the furniture that you want. You know what I mean? But crafting makes Animal Crossing more of a game than ever. And that's so perfect for me, especially in the early game. This is terrific. Back in my day, when the sun went down and the shop closed, there was nothing left to do. You could fish and hunt bugs. That was, like, basically it. But, like, you'd get tired of fishing, and you'd run out of places to put your fish inside of your house so that you could sell them the next day. Like, I remember being so into Animal Crossing. The very first one, I was a teenager, I was probably 14, and I was so into it, but there was nothing to do. So I was just reloading the game again and again to respawn the seashells so I could collect them and store them somewhere, and then do it again, just again and again, because there was nothing to do. But, like, they got that. They got us covered. They give you so much to do early on. And all of these, like, these early, I don't know, quests, you could almost call them. You know, like, at one point, you're helping to build the new houses for the new villagers, so you are crafting a whole bunch of different furniture. Like, you have to craft specific furniture to do it, and everything you do, you want to build a bridge. Oh, you gotta craft a bridge building kit and all that stuff. Like, it's so much more goal oriented, and it's so wonderful. Because if before you could run out of stuff to do in a day and all you had to do was just sleep, so the next day you could get maybe new characters who come into town, or, you know, your fossils respawn, you get new fossils or whatever. But now there's always something to do. And that's amazing because you can always be collecting materials. You run out of materials on your main island, in a sense. I'll talk about that in a minute. You could be collecting materials and crafting stuff. That's just always something to do. And there's Nook Miles. Nook Miles, you guys. It's so dumb. I'm so dumb. I love getting rewarded. I love the little cha-ching. I love the little noise. I love being rewarded for doing what I'm doing because it almost makes it feel like an RPG. It almost makes it feel like XP. oh, you caught 50 bugs. Here's a little stamp, and here's some Nook Miles. And you get to see, like, oh, the next one is at 200. You know, stuff like that. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's this feeling of progression all the time. All the time, everything that you're doing, it's all tracked, and you get points for it all the time. And that's just, oh, man. I feel like I keep coming back to, and it's amazing. And I love it. That's just like the end of every point that I make is, and it's so good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's like they knew. They knew, hey, eventually they're going to run out of stuff to do on their island, but it was almost like it was a goal of theirs to make sure we wouldn't run out of stuff. That no matter what, we can always keep playing. And this is genius. This is so genius. So if you spend 2,000 Nook Miles, you can get a ticket to a randomly generated island, a small island. It's not like a big village island or whatever. It's, you know, it's small. And there are a few, I've seen 4, 5, 6 different types of islands. And within those types, they're kind of randomly generated. So you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what bugs are going to spawn. Sometimes there's foreign fruit that you can get, different amounts of rocks, and so that's the thing, is like you can always go to these and you can farm materials from them. So if you're looking for something to do, gathering materials is always a thing. And so this is where the loop comes in. This is where they created this amazing loop. So there's Nook Miles, and but there's like Nook, I don't know, I can't remember. It's like Nook Miles Plus or whatever. Little like achievement-y things that you can earn miles, but they cycle. It's up at the top, and it's like kind of a separate thing where it's just like catch 5 bugs, 100 miles. So you do it, and you get the miles, and then you get a new one, chop down a tree. And like these little tiny goals, they cycle forever. You can essentially be, and like, it makes it so hard to put the game down, because you're like, maybe I'll just do a couple more. It just wants me to sell 20 clumps of weeds. I'll just do that. And then you do, and then it's replaced with something else. It's just, don't put the game down. Don't ever. Keep working, keep catching bugs, keep collecting materials, keep chopping wood. And so that's the thing, is then you use these miles that you get, and every 2,000 Nook Miles, you can go to another island, and you can, you know, chop wood from all the trees and get iron and clay and stone from all the rocks. It's like a little loot box. You never know what you're gonna find on the island. So there's that little surprise factor too, the little mystery. And so it's between like the little cycling Nook Miles things and the island and just the draw of collecting materials, so that later you can use these materials if you need to, or you can use them to craft furniture and sell for extra money. It never stops. They finally did it. They finally made an Animal Crossing that you never have to put down if you don't want to. There's certain things that you run out of, you know, there's only so much you can do in the day on your island. You just gotta wait till the next day for Nook to give you something else to do or whatever. But this is forever. And it's awful, and I love it. It's dangerous because it's so hard to put down, but at the same time, that and all of the other, like, more goal-oriented things, it's turned this into just an amazing experience. And, like, other stuff, too. Like I said, instead of just townspeople moving in, you're actually helping to build their houses. And it's like that a lot so far. The museum. You have to donate a certain number of specimens to it before you even get the museum. It's like everything you had before, you have to earn now. You have to work toward now. And I could see some people being like, oh, that's lame. No, that's just, all you did was take something we had and make us have to craft stuff for it. And I even said I was a little worried if that was the only thing that it was gonna do. I don't know. In practice, though, it's awesome. Personally, I think it's awesome. It doesn't give everything to you too fast. You have to earn all of it. It gives you something to do with your bells and your resources and stuff, and that just makes the whole thing so much more gamey. So much more gamey and fun and satisfying, and it gives me so much more of a sense of, like, progression, but, like, empowerment, too. Like, I am the one progressing. I'm not just, like, waiting. I'm not just playing every day, and the game says, oh, well, after 10 days, then you get this option, or whatever. Like, I mean, there's gonna be some stuff like that, and obviously a lot will come through updates. But so much of it is just, like, me. I worked hard, I gathered materials, and I turned them into furniture, and I sold it, and I paid off my house, and then because I paid off my house, then I got this other thing that I got to do. So I am constantly really, really motivated to keep moving forward and like do as much as I can within a day. And I know it's supposed to be a relaxing game, and yet like it's relaxing, and yet I also just want to maximize my efficiency. And I don't know, and that's just it's so good. It's so good. Now, because of where I am in my life, yada, 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 I do have to wonder if, like, the further I go, this whole gamey part is probably going to start to fade away a little bit and kind of give way to the sim part. You know what I mean? Like, once I fully upgrade my house and once I, you know, build all the different shops and fill my town with villagers and do everything that I want, that's going to be the time when it's really time to customize, you know, once I get the terraforming and I can just like make the town exactly what I want it to be and start getting all the furniture I want and stuff. There is a good chance that is when I'll lose interest, when it stops being as much game and starts being more sim. Very possible. That might be when I just like, I just don't really want to do it anymore. But at the moment though, I'm hooked. I am very addicted, and I imagine I will be, at least until I feel like I've done everything I can do, built everything I can build. Right now, I'm just so into it. And you know what? That's fine. Like, I'm fine if I eventually lose interest. I don't need to play the game every day for 3 years to feel like I got my money's worth. I almost already feel like I've got my money's worth. I've been having so much fun over the last few days. So yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens even in the game. There's still like a lot of questions that we don't really know, and that's kind of what's great about the nature of a game that can be updated, is like we don't really know what they're gonna add. They could add in features that they took out. Like they could add a swimming update later. Who knows? They could add in any sorts of events or holidays or anything that we just don't know about yet, or they could just patch it. They could just change stuff. Who knows? But it's nice that we don't know 100% of what's going to happen in the game. You know, it's not like a regular single player game where the people with the review copies already just explored the whole entire thing and we know everything. No, it's the future is future's fun. This is fun. It's a fun future. I'm really looking forward to what happens. So that's that. Are you enjoying Animal Crossing? I hope you guys are doing okay, considering the circumstances. I know things are rough right now. Animal Crossing is definitely helping the stress factor, I will say. But it's been a little hard to find the motivation and the time and everything to work and to do everything. So it's tough. I hope you guys are doing all right. If I could give one single bit of advice, it's not wash your hands. You already know that. It's go for walks. Walks are okay. We're allowed to go for walks. You just don't walk next to a bunch of other people. Just seriously, if you want to do me a favor, if you are stuck at home and you're not going to work or anything, you're isolating, go for walks, like a walk a day, even if it's just like 20 minutes. It's so important. One, for the health. You just keep your body moving a little bit, and two, for the mental well-being. They help me tremendously. Helps you kind of break out of your box, kind of break up the monotony a little bit. You got to look at some stuff, see some nature, stimulate the brain a little bit. So that's my advice to you. Go for walks. Just think of me. Do it for me. It's a favor to me. Just schedule a little walk every day, even if it's just like around the block once or twice. Do that, please. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to either go play Animal Crossing and feel guilty that I'm not working, or I'm going to work and feel just anxious that I'm not playing Animal Crossing, because now that I've done this impressions video, playing Animal Crossing cannot be considered work quite as much because I've got other stuff to do. So that's rough. It's rough, you guys. Stuck in the house all day. I have an Animal Crossing and I still got to work. I still got a channel to run. Come on. How unreasonable. Anyway, see you later. I love you. Bye.